It's the afternoon weather briefing. This is for New Year's Eve, December 31st. I'm James Spann. Very windy day today with temperatures all over the board. But the big story, of course, it's the cold air coming in next week. And we have a lot of new data in the house. So let's take a look at things together to see if we can find any snow or ice issues along the way. Here's the upper air look today. And again, we have a pretty potent shortwave north of the state. And that is producing some rain to the north of here. But for Alabama, for most locations, it is a sunny day. That's a visible satellite view. Got a few clouds near the Tennessee state line. Closest rain to the state is up in parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. A few scattered showers there. Got some thunderstorms over West Virginia. But we're going to be dry through at least Friday, probably Saturday as well. So temperatures are just all over the board today. Look at that map. You've got Haleyville up in Marion County at 55, Alexander City in Tallapoosa County at 76. And that cooler air is going to win the battle here, but you can see South Alabama enjoying a very warm New Year's Eve. Mid-70s for Montgomery, Dothan, and Mobile, but Huntsville, in the cooler air, they've got 58. There's a wind advisory for the Tennessee Valley. It's pretty windy across the entire northern half of the state. We have winds gusting to 30, 35 miles an hour. Once the sun goes down, the gradient relaxes and the winds will slowly diminish. Also, those wind advisories extend to the northeast up into parts of New York and New England. A marginal risk of severe storms for the rest of today and tonight from eastern Kentucky over to Chesapeake Bay. Tomorrow, not a single thunderstorm across the country, and the same thing on day 3, which is Thursday. So here's rain for the next 7 days. This is the rain valid through Tuesday morning of next week, and this will be basically Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and Monday morning. Rain amounts for the Tennessee Valley about 1 inch, 1/2 to 1 inch for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, under 1/2 inch for South Alabama. So a lot to talk about here. All the new data is in. Here we go. Model fans. The GFS, this is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 3. Shortwave rotating up into New England, and the day here will be cool and dry. For those of you in South Alabama with 70s today, you won't see that. You'll probably see highs around 60 tomorrow. North Alabama will see highs in the 50s. And again, the sky will be sunny. We start the day in the 30s. This is Thursday. Same thing. We're dry. Lows in the 30s. Highs should be in the 50s in most spots. But a pretty good chunk of North Alabama will likely see a freeze early Thursday morning. This is Friday. An Alberta clipper passes north of the state. You see that light snow coming through East Tennessee, East Kentucky, West Virginia. That light snow will stay north of here, but that should push down some colder air on Friday. Highs will likely drop into the upper 40s for the northern half of the state. And then Saturday, as the weekend begins, the day should be cold and dry. We start the day in the 20s. The high will be in the 40s for a pretty good chunk of the state. So here comes our next system, and this is Sunday. And this is pretty curious. So this is the GFS, and this is valid Sunday afternoon. And you see what it's doing here. This the GFS actually is suggesting that we're going to see freezing rain north of Interstate 20 Sunday afternoon. This is valid Sunday evening at 6 o'clock with temperatures at or just below freezing. Liquid falling, temperatures below freezing, that's freezing rain. But the European says there's no way that's going to happen. The European has any freezing rain in Kentucky with just rain for Alabama and Tennessee with a surface low near Little Rock. In fact, the European almost suggests there could be some thunder Sunday evening. So again, it's pure model madness, which is often the case in patterns like this. So again, here's the GFS suggesting icing problems for North Alabama Sunday. European says it's just going to rain. And I just have to think that the European is on the right track here. The pattern doesn't favor cold air getting in here before this system. So we're just going to mention rain for Alabama Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. And then Monday, the rain moves out. And I will say on Monday, there's certainly a chance as cold air rolls in, there could be a few snow flurries for the northern third of the state Monday, but probably nothing meaningful. It's the backside of a departing storm, and typically you don't have any issues with that. But I think Monday will be a day with temperatures going the wrong way. We'll probably start the day Monday maybe in the 40s, and then fall into the 30s during the day Monday. A pretty good north wind, and again, maybe a few flurries for the northern third of the state, but I don't think there's any impact there. And then a week from today, this is Tuesday, January 7th. Again, we don't have the big cross-polar flow yet, but it's clearly going to be colder. We notice short wave that's over Baja California, wave developing over the Great Lakes, and again, it just looks cold and dry. And by cold and dry, Tuesday of next week, we're expecting lows in the low 20s, highs in the upper 30s for much of North Alabama, low 40s in South Alabama. And this is phase one of the cold air coming in. The really cold air is probably about 5 days beyond this. In fact, let's keep going. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday, the end of next week, January the 10th. And the southern stream system is going to try and phase with the northern stream system, creating this big trough. But and could there be a storm in the Gulf at the end of next week? Remember this morning, if you watch this morning, the GFS had a big snowstorm here on Friday the 10th. Well, it's gone. And that's what you're going to see this. These things will flip and flop, like I say, like a fish out of water. These deterministic runs, and they don't mean that much. You just look for trends. That just looks cold and dry. This is the European Friday of next week, and it's cold and dry. Although, look what this thing's doing. It's suggesting icing for parts of deep South Texas, Houston, and the coast of Louisiana. How about that? And again, the signal is there and that some type of system will likely form in the Gulf, a surface wave. And the question is, could that bring a significant winter storm threat to the deep South? Maybe, maybe not. These runs saying probably not, but the next batch of runs could say yes. It's just something to watch. We're watching for trends here. So let's go to the ensembles here. European ensemble, and again, this is the probabilistic outlook, the chance of greater than 1 inch of snow between now and the 15th of January. And I'd say the numbers are similar to what I showed you this morning. Maybe the percentage is not quite as high. This is suggesting the chance of 1 inch of snow for the Tennessee Valley is in that 40 to 50% bracket. Drops off to 10 to 20% down through parts of central Alabama and nothing for South Alabama. And quite frankly, the GFS is very similar. This is the GFS, same thing. Ensemble, probabilistic outlook, the chance of 1 inch of snow or more. But again, for the Tennessee Valley, you see that numbers are in excess of 50% here coming off the GFS. So the cold air is a lock. The question is, can we have any ice or snow? It's very possible. And again, I think if it's anything meaningful, it's not going to be this coming Sunday. It's going to be the deal at the end of next week out there in about 10 days. Quick peek at precipitation for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. This is between now and the 15th of January. The mean about a little over 1 inch. So let's start with the national blend of models. How cold is it going to get? And again, this is an ensemble approach, which I think is the right way of doing it. I show this on every video typically. And you can see that, and by the way, the high Monday of 50, I think that comes during the morning, and then we see temperatures falling during the day. And then highs for the rest of next week in the 35 to 40 degree range with lows well down in the 20s. And this is the deterministic output coming off the 12Z European run. And again, you can see that it has, by the end of next week, and this is for Birmingham, the high of 32 on the 9th and the 10th at the end of next week, and a low down to 15. But notice how temperatures stay way below average. This could be an extended stretch of really cold weather, and that's one of our key messages here. I know people like to talk about the snow. That's the sexy stuff, but this will be a fairly long-duration cold wave for the Deep South. Understand, at this latitude, it typically doesn't get cold and stay cold. It's never been like that, never will be like that. But having a 1 to 2 week stretch of really cold air like that, that's a high-impact event for a lot of folks in agriculture, industry. Trust me, it's a big deal for some. And understand the numbers you see here will be adjusted, probably coming down. And I really do think if we see a Gulf wave at the end of next week, once that wave passes, we could see even colder air following that. And just in, hot off the presses, latest 8 to 14-day guidance. This is for January 8th through the 14th. And again, we're in the deep, dark shades of blue. Temperatures here well below average. So that'll do it this afternoon. Again, we typically don't do 2 videos a day on holidays, but hey, with this active weather, we thought we would do that. The next video briefing here will be posted by tomorrow morning. And if you're new here, I do these every day during the week. Weekends is necessary, but during the week, they're typically done live about 5:15 Central in the morning. and about 2:45 Central in the afternoon on my YouTube channel and Facebook page. They're simulcast on both platforms. And we have supplementary information over on the blog, alabamawx.com. And I will be working this evening. We've got some football, but we have a couple of newscasts on ABC 3340. We have one at 6 o'clock this evening and one at 9 o'clock this evening. So ABC 3340 News this evening at 6 and 9. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Happy New Year, and God bless.